Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Ken and Mark Show.
Or how I learned to stop worrying and just call it football.
That's right, the show where the opinions are made up and the shape of the balls does
not
matter. How you doing, Kenny?
I hanging in there, Mark. Hanging in there. How are you doing, bud?
I don't know, man. Hanging in there, I guess.
Like that's just
it's 2020. What do you want me to say?
I mean, I remember people saying like at the beginning of this year, like, all right, 2019 was horrible. 2020, we're gonna rock it into 2020, and we're gonna make the best of it. We got a general election, and that's all we got to worry about all year.
Yeah, you remember when we thought 2019 was shit?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, there is just so much happening, and such a you know how Trump's presidency has felt like it's been going on for 20 years,
hasn't it?
Like, I mean, it feels that way. It hasn't even been a full 4, but I feel like it's just been like he's always been my president.
That's a terrible thought.
I feel like this year, like the entire everything is just like, I feel like I'm a little kid, and like when you're a little kid and like the summer comes or the school year takes forever. Oh, and summers where they lasted forever.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like every day takes like 72 hours. Like nothing is. It's like everything is, because you're so self-aware of everything, like with this virus, and then with I mean, it's just insane. Like it's hyper. I'm like hyper aware of everything, because you gotta be, because there's like a silent killer out there, and then there's real killers out there, and they call them the police.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how much sports we're going to get to, just with all the other nonsense going.
Yeah, it's
I don't know if you read this yet or not, but at about 7:00, the occupant of the White House came out and said that he's going to invoke an 1807 law to have the military patrol civilian streets, which, by the way, was overruled by Posse Comitatus. It's not legal, but that's never stopped him from doing anything. So.
It's not legal. That's just
yeah. I mean, quaint ideas like legality. And, yeah, we don't need those anymore.
Sorry, I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I brought that up. I didn't know we were still doing that sort of thing.
Who went digging into the law like in 1807?
Stephen Miller.
Like, oh my God!
You know it was Stephen Miller, right? I mean, the whole Henry Ford quote. Trump doesn't know enough about Henry Ford to know that quote. Stephen Miller wrote that.
Oh yeah, there was a tweet that went out, I want to say last week. I can't remember what it said, but the wording of it was coherent.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it popped up on the
obviously
news.
Not him.
Yeah, it was like that. He didn't write that, because it was
not.
Because we were laughing about watch a YouTube show every week, even more news.
Yeah,
or some more news, like it's. And the podcast, even more news. The YouTube channel is some more news. And when he decided to read out what the Trump quote instead of just doing the audio.
Yeah.
When someone reads out his quotes,
yes,
they are fucking like I call him like a Jack Kerouac of presidents. Like he is just stream of conscience. They're a beatnik.
They're straight up.
They're nonsense. They're nonsense. Like. I've had more like a 4-year-old has better word association or whatever. Like it's ridiculous.
I have words.
He repeats it.
Words.
I just grab all the words and just throw them out there. I mean, like some days they say it, and he'll just like, I love it. Like my favorite is when he'll like, yeah, these days they say, some people said to me, and they've always said, like he'll just keep saying the same thing.
People are saying.
And I've said, and I've been told, and they've said, and
I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm hearing.
But Oh yeah, people told me
from the voices in your head.
Yeah, it's like, oh, did you love his lie about the he's taking hydroxychloroquine?
Yeah.
It's like you can see him. You can see his eyes go. Well, I'm. And then he doubled down. Well, I've been on it for weeks. I've been taking. It's like, no, you ain't, mother. You are not taking it. You've never taken it. Oh,
he's still.
You just doubled. You just.
I don't
He just
think
lie.
He
He's a lie.
I don't think he knows what it is.
He's a pathological liar. He just can't help himself.
Yes, he is a pathological liar.
And it's just, oh, it's so frustrating. And then he had a speech today. Yeah, well, you're talking about the military. He's going to call out the military.
Speech.
I pulled up the YouTube. I pulled up the speech. A guy came out. They're live streaming it. Guy came out testing 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a half hour later, the president comes out. The whole video is 41 minutes long. He didn't come out till 32. And it was just a little 8-minute, like, are you kidding me? Like,
it wasn't even 8
minutes. You're talking about calling on bringing the military to police our streets, and you give it like 5-6 minutes.
Have we ever had a bigger coward as president?
Oh, God. He is such a little baby. I mean, wow. He is. He is a perfect word. He is a coward. He is a coward.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't have a backbone. He is just like, I think he's just all gristle. Like the stuff that your nose is made of is what keeps his body up. I mean, you've seen the way he stands. A human body shouldn't be able to stand like he does. It should topple over.
Well, I mean
he just looks. He looks so funny when he does it.
It's the Adderall that's keeping him upright. I mean, what else?
Stop it!
I'm just saying,
my goodness, man.
I don't know. All right, so we'll do a little bit of sports, and then
okay.
I don't know why. Okay, hang on a second. I have to mute my wife here. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. It's just I turned off my phone, and so now all the stuff that was going to my phone is going to my computer. So I have to mute them. Hang on the computer, or else we'll just hear dings forever. All right, got it. Okay. Jiminy Christmas.
That's pretty cool,
though. It can be. Sometimes it's annoying, but
but when you're trying to record audio, I can see where it'd be a little. I don't know about this.
Yeah. When I'm trying to do audio, it's a little tough. Now what am I doing? Okay. All right. Okay, so
I don't know.
Why don't we try and do a little bit of sports? I'm sure we'll get back to this because there isn't that much sports yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So
it's coming though. It's coming. It is coming.
That's what I'm told. So let's see. The big announcement thus far this week, because we covered the NHL last week and we covered the potential return of the NBA also. The big news this week is the EPL has announced that they will be restarting June 17th. So
yes.
June 17th, English football will return. Players are now currently practicing
in training.
No word on the fake crowd noise yet. I'm kind of hoping we decide not to go with the fake crowd noise.
Yeah, that just seems. I think it does a disservice to the fans. Like,
well,
there should.
It's a bizarre disconnect because I'm watching the game and I can see that there's nobody in the stadium. And I can hear a crowd. Like, come on, guys.
And who's gonna at what point? Is there a certain decibel level? It's gonna mean you're just opening up a can of worms that doesn't ever need to be open.
It isn't necessary.
It
isn't necessary.
You play games without fans, and you just, you know what? We're gonna hear the players, and you know what? They might cuss, but you know what? At this point, does it really matter?
No. How many games we have left? 9?
I think so. To me, I think if I'm the EPL, I end the season as soon as it's mathematically eliminated. The places are in place. So let's say it only takes 6 games to lock down your top 4 and your bottom 3.
Yeah.
Then to me the season's over. There's no reason to play the other games.
They haven't really said how that's going to go yet. They're just saying they're going to restart on the 17th. We haven't got any details as to like how that's going to end up. So we still don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about how money and contracts, like, so you don't get those 2 games, or maybe even if it's just the last game. To me, I would, if I'm the networks, I'm happy to get that back.
Yes.
So, and since it's going to be so late, the next season's can start rather quickly. So,
right.
Why not just say?
I mean, if they're going to play 9 games starting on June 17th, even if they play 2 games a week.
That's what they're talking. I mean,
we're going to be 4 weeks into the summer transfer window by the time the season's over.
From what I'm hearing, there's going to be games every day, like 2 or 3 they're
really
packing this. Like, it's not just going to be like everyone plays on a Wednesday and a Saturday. From what I'm hearing, it's going to be like they're punching these in there.
So they are trying to get everything done before the end of June.
As quickly as possible, from what I hear.
Interesting.
And
I don't know how that's going to work.
I mean, to me, you play it until everything is settled, and then you give them a 3-week break for the season, or maybe just 2 weeks. I don't know, but you give them at least 2, up to, I'd say, them, and then because you got to get new players in, and they got to train.
But even if you could start the next season 3 weeks late. Who cares? I mean,
yeah. And you just play those games, and that just means, okay. I mean, England, you haven't had a winter break. You only had the one this season.
Exactly.
So you lose your winter break again.
And you usually get none, so you're used to it. So
yeah,
who cares? Right.
And the only thing it's going to affect is other leagues who are used to getting their winter break. Right. So you guys don't have it this season.
So you don't get a winter break. All right, that's fine.
And you're just gonna have to manage more. You're gonna have to really rotate your squad. I think this coming season, you're really gonna see managers have to use their entire squad.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to rotate. It's gonna be a lot more man management. I feel. I mean, I could be totally wrong because I have never coached soccer, and I've never managed an EPL team. So
never at the professional level. I have plenty of experience at FIFA. I'm a brilliant manager. I'm a brilliant manager at FIFA. I'm just saying.
I took Plymouth Argyle out of League 2 and made them Champions League champions. Now, granted, I might have created myself as a striker, and I was a 90 at 16. But hey,
so was I at left back.
I love that shit, man. I love it. It's like just dropping your stuff. It's like just like dropping the most perfect version of yourself.
Exactly. That's the plan.
Seeing, and even when you simulate the game, it's like, oh, I've got 2 goals and I did pretty good. And you get like a little dopamine rush, like, I see why people like Avatar so much. It's like my virtual self is. Ooh, I'm worth $100 million.
A couple of pieces of news out of merry old England. Manchester United extended Odion Ighalo's loan deal, so he'll be with you guys.
Good! I'm so happy for him. For one, he did really good. He scored one of the best goals of the season, and just his story. I mean, being a childhood United fan, that's the kind of guy I want.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he can't replicate it, which I think he will. Because I think when you love playing for a team, I think that gives you a little extra motivation to work harder and really put in you're not going to rest on your laurels. Like everyone says, playing for Real Madrid is like really like it's a dream to play for Real Madrid. It's always been a childhood dream. It's like, no, it hasn't. You did not.
Well,
you grew up in
In
Sheffield.
some cases, it probably has been.
But you grew, like, say for a guy who grew up in Sheffield, no. you were going on the hootie hoos and you love Wednesday. That's what it was. It wasn't Real Madrid. But I'd say, but for someone like him, like I'm happy for him because I saw a story that his loan deal was gone and he was going back and it's like, oh man, you know what? I got nothing. He's like, to me, like if he were to leave, it's like nothing but great memories. Like it was a shame how it ended, but like he'll have these like I'll have these moments with this guy. Like I'll never forget him for that month he had with us.
Right.
I mean, I have been dreaming about Bruno Fernandes. I mean, does that sound weird? Like
yes, it does.
I want to see him caress a ball.
Okay.
I want to just see him put his foot over it and just kind of lift it. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Okay.
There's no innuendos here. But no, seriously, I as much as I say I haven't really watched the Bundesliga, I don't really like. It's the EPL.
I love it. I love Germany. It's fantastic.
Oh, you do love Germany. Let's talk more about this, Mark. Why do you love Germany so much?
German soccer's fantastic.
It is good. It is it's the tactics. I mean, it's I think closer to England than like Spain or Italy.
I absolutely agree with you. It's a lot faster paced than Spanish football. It's a lot more direct than Spanish football. And I think if the league was a little bit deeper, it might be comparable to English football.
I mean, as much as everyone hates RB Leipzig, they got another team that can fight for that top place. Yeah. I mean, I know I think they're like it's the 51-49 or that rule where your club has to be owned by 51% of the fans, so they don't have. I don't know what teams were disbanded or whatever, but they've somehow skirted that. Red Bull has, and that's why everyone hates them. But it's good.
Red Bull and Hoffenheim. The big deal this year was Hoffenheim Hoffenheim was going bankrupt, and a billionaire owner came in to save them, and the fans were really upset about that. That's what led to some game stoppages around Christmas. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, it's a little fuzzy with the whole virus, but So okay, I mean, but if I'm a fan of Hoffenheim, it's like I want that.
Oh, I think Hoffenheim fans are. I think Hoffenheim fans kind of swallowed that as a way to save their team, but a lot of the fans in the rest of the league were like, that's against the rules.
But
you know how Germans are with rules.
Oh yeah, they're sticklers. They're very much sticklers for them rules.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think this is gonna to me, there's a reckoning coming for football and for sports, especially and when it comes to soccer. From what I'm hearing, is the loss of revenue for lower league teams is killing them. Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to take. The football league cannot afford to lose these clubs. If they're talking about losing as many as it, like you could damn near lose enough teams for a whole league. It's just they were running like basically like restaurants running on a knife's edge of like they're just certain they have enough money to pay their bills, right. And that's pretty much it. I mean, a team like Charlton or Bolton, they're not making the money. They're not making the Premier League is where you get your money. Everywhere else is you hope to survive to climb up to get to that money.
Right.
And I hope that English football figures out a way to save those clubs where no one should go bankrupt or no one should lose something so dear, no one should lose a business or anything just because of an act of what they would call like an insurance industry, an act of God, where force majeure comes into play and like cancel contracts and shit like that.
Right.
I mean, the only reason I know that is because when the hurricane one of the big hurricanes that did the BP oil spill. That's what it was.
Oh,
it
yeah.
caused I was in the PVC pipe industry, and with oil, that's how you make pipe.
Right.
And all of our contracts where we had locked in prices, what's Phil's force majeure? What the hell were they doing this French shit to us? And basically they were able to, it's a thing where you can have a contract, but they can just cancel it because of an act of God.
Right.
It's like, that's just silly.
Nike has announced that they will allow Liverpool to continue in their New Balance kits until the official end of the season. Nike's contract with Liverpool was supposed to kick in June 1st, which is today.
Makes sense.
So then you'd have the spectacle of Liverpool winning the championship in their Nike kits and not their New Balance kits. When New Balance has been their sponsor for I think it's 8 years, 10 years.
Oh my God.
So Nike agreed to allow them to continue in the until the end of the season.
That's a little dirty pool right there. But I can see Nike. I wouldn't blame Nike if they said, "Hey."
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't blame them at all.
June 1st. Because I would want to see the swoosh with the. I mean, because you guys are winning the league. You guys are only one game away, right? 1 or 2.
I think
it's 1 or 2.
I think it's 6 points. I think it's 6 points away. For if Liverpool gets 6 more points, and City can't catch them, right?
Yeah, so, no matter what, even if City wins 2 games, it doesn't matter. Like,
correct.
Liverpool wins two more games, the championship's over.
I believe that's it. Yes.
And that would be just like, as more I thought about it, I think it's just 2. Personally, I'm not.
I think it's 2.
I don't want to fuck with my phone, but I know I joked about it, and honestly, if they didn't give you the title, I wouldn't care. But I just thought about you and how it would make you feel. Like, I was like, that's gut wrenching to be that close, to be 2 games away, and knowing you'd win those games. Like, those would just be, they'd be 2 wins.
They're not going to lose 8 or 9 games. I just don't believe that.
No, it's not going to happen. The level of this team is not going to go down because everyone's going to drop down.
Yes.
There's everyone's going to, but I think this Liverpool team has resilience. And with the way Jurgen Klopp has handled this, I mean, he's been the best manager. He hasn't gotten all hyperbolic about it and been like, oh, they stole this championship. Oh, this is horrible. He's like, he's been on brand about, I care about people over football.
Yes.
It's like, dude, how can you not love this fucking guy? I mean,
over in Germany, Bayern Munich is cruising to another league title. They are now, I believe it's 4 games clear. It's 10 points clear at the top with 6 or 7 games left. Leipzig was making a serious run at them right after Christmas, and then they fell apart. And it's
Dortmund a little bit
the same. Yeah, Dortmund as well.
They were up at the top, and then it's
losing to Bayern last weekend didn't help them. But
it's
so since German football has been the only thing on TV, I've been watching them quite a bit. I'm kind of amazed that Bayern Munich loses any games. Just
the team they got is stacked. It's stacked.
It is.
It's ridiculous.
It is, and
I mean,
like the defense. Okay, the defense is not as stout as it could be, but they score so many goals it shouldn't matter.
It's the defense is as good as anyone else. Like, the thing about it is their defense is as good as anyone in Germany.
Yeah.
But you look at their team, you think it should be better. Does that make sense?
That's probably right. Yeah.
You think you look at, it's Bayern Munich. They should have real fullbacks and real center defenders instead of having midfielders back there or a left back playing center back.
But that is exactly what they have. They have 1, maybe 2 real defenders, and the rest of them are all midfield players or wingers playing
Instead
fullback.
of just yeah,
Yeah,
and it should be that should be enough to where a team like Dortmund or Leipzig or Schalke or someone could even out because they've got a full team, but it's not as good. But they have actual defenders.
yes.
But
It
these
doesn't
players
happen.
are so good they can play anywhere. So it's like Alba can easily go into center back because the way they play is not they're not depending on having a 6'2" center back.
Exactly.
It's the way they play their football. They're keepers and extra center back.
Alphonso Davies scored a goal at left wing on the last weekend. I mean, it's like, okay. I mean, but that's really his natural position.
Yeah, it's
He's
where
not
he
a
should play.
natural fullback. He's just back there because he's the best left winger they have, and they don't have any real defenders.
I forget who else plays on that side. Like that left side of Bayern Munich is like, I would hate to be a fullback to have to guard that.
It's Kingsley Coman plays on left wing typically.
It's sick what they can do, and they've come together at the right time, like because they kind of skated through in Champions League. They weren't their best, still good.
Yep.
But not what you expect of FC Hollywood. I mean, it's just
right.
But they came together. I think they played Tottenham and just destroyed Tottenham. Like the team finally congealed and said, "This is what we do. This is how we're going to play." And now they're just destroying people.
Right.
And it's. But I think what Germany needs is what keeps La Liga alive is that you have Barcelona and Real Madrid.
And occasionally
Germany needs
Atletico in there.
Throwing Valencia or somebody comes out of nowhere. Yeah, I forgot about. Sorry, Atleti fans, our diehard Atleti fans that watch us every week.
Right.
Buongiorno. No, but
I think that's the wrong country. It's the wrong Southern European country. Okay.
It just sounds good. It sounds European. I think it's Italian. To our two Italian fans, Buongiorno.
Right.
But yeah, but seriously, every season you're looking at the two big horses.
Yeah.
Germany doesn't have that other big horse that is consistently second or first, second, that can consistently go head to head against Bayern Munich and beat them.
Yeah.
Or at least have the optics say that they should be able to beat them.
And what they need are a more consistent Dortmund and Leipzig and Wolfsburg. Like they need a consistent top four in order to develop. Like, I mean, Bayern Munich is mostly unchallenged for most of the season.
Yeah.
Whereas in England, every one of the top 6 teams plays at least 5. I mean, they play at least 10 games against legit competition, whereas Bayern doesn't.
No, and I think that sometimes that hurts them in Champions League play because they're not the competition isn't there until they get into the knockouts, and then all of a sudden they're like, we're used to being able to just pass the ball around however we want.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden some team comes in and sticks them in the mouth a little bit, and they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
But I think this season they could win it. I mean, they've come together more than with everything that's working against teams right now. Somehow they've managed to not miss a fucking beat.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they did it. Well, they're Bayern Munich.
Well, yes.
And it's just, I mean, that's just what you like. As much as I want to be surprised about it, you really can't be surprised.
Yeah.
You know.
What else happened? Syria announced that they have dates for all their remaining matches, so that season will conclude itself as well. So I
Good,
think
good.
all the major European leagues have come up with a plan to finish out their seasons.
Good.
So we'll be seeing
That's
more football in the near future.
that's what we need. I mean, hell, we're only 2 months away from getting us some NFL back. That's going to be interesting to see that without fans in the stadium.
Uh,
I
I,
think this, I think this season is
if
what's
look,
really going to suck.
if there's going to be a disaster, if there's going to be a coronavirus disaster, sorry,
Bless you.
if there's going to be a coronavirus disaster in a sports league, it's going to be the NFL.
Yeah.
Because it's America. We're not taking it seriously.
No.
B, we have some of the worst. Our fans are terrible.
Oh, I know.
We're gonna have 60,000 people in a stadium, hot dogs and beers. No one's wearing masks.
Just
No
give me
one's
here.
got tested.
Let's just lick let's lick each other.
It's just gonna be a cluster, and that's
Yeah.
yeah.
It's gonna be a shit show. It's gonna be a total shit show.
Welcome to the NFL.
Oh yeah, welcome to the hey Rook, welcome and the way the game is played, like with soccer, there's contact, but it's about space. I mean, it's a social distancing sport.
Yes.
In the NFL, you are constantly in contact with another person.
What is the over-under? What is the over-under on how many linemen are going to contract COVID-19?
Oh, you did not just say that, Mark. You did not.
I mean, wait, what are you talking about?
40%. FanDuel has to have a line.
Oh yeah, Vegas has to have one.
I mean, I'm going to take the over on that. No, like if it's 40, I'll take the over, because if you think during a game, if one person has it, he can infect 3 or 4 people, and then and then 16 people the next week, and then 32. I mean, it can grow exponentially after that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's I don't even want.
And testing is so. I mean, I love that the White House, the test that they use in the White House, like when they finally looked at it, was like half wrong all the time. It's like, come on. Like America. If the test that the White House is using is half wrong, well, what are we doing?
But honestly though, does it surprise you that this White House can't get a test right? I mean,
no, it doesn't. And that I love how they just trust it. I love how they just trusted it. Like somebody said, this is the best. This is the best test. Oh, they told me it was the best test. I have the best test. It runs right half the time. It's like,
because that's all you have to do with this guy.
I bet what it is, you put the little blood test, you hand it to somebody, he goes behind a curtain, flips a coin, and then it comes out, oh, you're negative.
I don't even think he flips a coin. I think
That's how
I think they give him the coin. He takes it, puts it in his pocket, and then makes a call.
I mean, that's how they're able to get the results back so fast.
Exactly.
Instead of, I mean, that's what you might as well do. I mean, why even test people if you're not getting.
It's not like he wants to know the answer anyway. So just who cares if you make it up? He doesn't care.
If he were to get it though, I would like to say that it would create some empathy in him. It would scare him into something.
Okay, Susan.
But it wouldn't. But it wouldn't. It wouldn't. It would not.
I
think he's learned something from this.
What I think they should do.
That's my best Susan Collins.
What I think they should do is tell him he does have it, even if he doesn't, and just see what happens. Just see what happens. I just want to see what happens. It's not like he cares about truth anyway. So just tell him he's got it. See what he does.
But I feel great. You're a superhero. I've been told that I have superpowers.
Okay.
I have a healing factor like Wolverine.
Oh
My
man.
doctor has told me I am the Wolverine. I will be now going out on SEAL Team 6 missions. I'll be leading the squad.
I have the
I'll be
best
going through those
factors.
the big beautiful holes that they don't knock on the door like a normal person.
Oh,
He's a crazy person. We have a crazy person as our president, Mark. And he still has 44. He still has 44% of the fucking approval rating.
Okay. All right.
We're drifting into this. We might as well. We might as well go there.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm out of sports. Those were all sports things I had because
that's all there is.
A lot of people talking about playing again. No one's actually playing again yet. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. All we have is dates. Like this is where what they're talking about, but will they actually start on the 17th?
I don't know. I mean, probably, but who can tell? Who can tell?
I feel bad for the players. I mean, even though I know it's their job and this and that, but still, I mean, they've got to be quarantined from their families. You would think like they would just go to training and then and then get on a bus and go straight to a hotel. That is quarantined off from the public.
So, with regards to the NBA, people there's a lot of chatter on Twitter as to how many mistresses were about to find out where they were in the pecking order. Because the NBA is developing a protocol for bringing players' families into quarantine with them if they decide to play all these games at Disney World.
Oh.
So people were like,
my goodness.
How many people are going to find out that they're not dating the man they thought they were?
Number one.
in this whole scenario.
Well, ladies, I'll tell you this. If he only talks to you when he's in your city, you're not the number one woman. I'm just saying.
Unless your city is Orlando, and then you might have a shot at this.
You might have a shot.
But if it's not.
But unless you live in the hometown that he plays for,
yeah.
I mean, he can tell you he loves you.
I got some bad news.
Honey, I don't know how to break this to you. But look, we've had our fun. We had our fun. It's been nice.
It's not you, it's me.
I need to do other things.
I just need some space.
And I've got to go to Orlando.
You're smothering me. I need space.
You're smothering me. I see you 4 times a year. Too much.
All right.
It's too much.
That's enough sports.
Yep.
Is there anything you love this weekend? I couldn't think of anything for myself, so I'm asking you.
Is there anything I love this week?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's a damn good question.
Isn't it though?
Because there's been so much hate in my heart. I got so much hate. What is there anything that I've loved? I have loved. Wow, this is I'm stretching here. Stretching. Wow. I love that. I guess I'll say this. I love, and it's more of a love and a hope.
Okay.
If I can have these two, I'm gonna love and I hope.
You still have hope?
People have given me hope.
Where did you find that?
I found it in a strange place.
Okay.
Found love in a hopeless place. Found love in something. What was the name of that song? No, but George Floyd.
Yes.
The horrible murder of George Floyd.
Yes.
Has, I think, my hope is it's finally struck a nerve, and it seems like it struck a nerve not just in a city, not just in a country, but the world
Yeah.
has latched onto this as a symbol of it. Because to me, it is racist, but to me it also speaks that this is a class issue.
Mm-hmm.
That if George Floyd had money, one, it wouldn't be in a situation. But two, to me, it's police aren't there to. It's not that they're there to serve and protect everyone equally. They're there to protect capitalism and to protect property. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that a lot when it comes to police. They're there to protect property.
And I mean,
No,
if you had any doubt about that, if you had any doubt about
I've never
that,
had.
like, I
never
mean,
had any doubt. But it's just
watching what's happened over the last 7 days. Yeah, it's obvious.
It's blatant now. Like
Right.
They were able to hide it and switch narratives because people didn't rise up in this kind of number, or if they did, it was in one city.
Right.
Like Philadelphia would rise up, New York would rise up, LA. This is the country, right? Like every major city in every state has risen up that has a significant brown population. Like Iowa, I don't know if Des Moines is going crazy. Just Huntsville, rise up, Huntsville, Alabama. It's to me, I hearing that Hong Kong is taking on his George Floyd's case, that Jaden Sancho for Borussia Dortmund, he give a shout out to George Floyd. But Weston McKennie for Schalke he wore the captain's armband and had George Floyd on. Like these are guys. I mean, one is an English footballer playing in Germany who's latched onto this.
Yeah.
And and it's not just about the fact that he is a black man. I think it's just it drives to the fact that people of the lower class are tired of being treated like animals. And it's struck a nerve with a lot of people. And I've never seen anything like this, where all these cities are rising up and having peaceful protests that are getting sidetracked by. I saw this video, this white guy, he starts beating up the fucking curb to break out rocks.
Yeah.
These 4 black guys grab him, snatch his ass up, and then throw him to the cops. And the cops were like fucking 8 feet away watching the white guy break up the bricks.
Yep.
It took the people snatch him up and give him to the police. Like the police were right there. They could see him doing it. But they didn't stop him.
No.
It's like they wanted him to break those rocks up so he could throw them to give them an excuse to start whipping all their asses.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like they were upset that that the crowd policed themselves.
Yes. Well, see,
I mean that's
the one. So the police operate on this myth that they are indispensable. No. I mean, they aren't.
Yeah.
The one thing that feels different about me, the one thing that feels different to me about this time than all the previous times is that for the first time, white people seem to be taking it more seriously. Like when Philando Castile was murdered, and when I forget the name of the dude that Colin Kaepernick started his protest for, which is
Michael Brown or Ferguson.
Michael Brown and all those things. Yeah.
There's too many.
People were largely.
When there's so many. When there's so many, you can't remember. That's ridiculous. Sorry.
Yes. White people were largely silent, but this time, like Kaepernick and Eric Reed and Dwayne Brown were like the only guys that continued protesting throughout seasons and multiple seasons. This time, I'm starting to see things from white players popping up, um, saying that this is indefensible and that things have to change. We weren't seeing that before. Like
No.
none of them would take the risk any of the previous times. Now they seem to be willing to take that risk, and it's that kind of feels different to me. I think the problem is it's probably too late. I mean, we are inches from fascism at this point, and I think we are beyond the point where that would have made a difference.
Dude, you know what? When you're saying this, I was thinking it, man. You're bringing, this is the part that I didn't want to bring up in the hope is like, yeah.
It feels like it's too little too late.
My hope is I want this to be the thing that unites, but it's like you say, man, I think we're too far gone.
I think we're too far down the road. I mean, I don't
like there were plenty of stops along the way.
Oh yeah.
Sandra Bland, I mean, there were plenty of people that were unjustly murdered by the police.
Yeah.
That we didn't do that people, and Pat McAfee of all people brought up a good point about this, is that other people during all these other things, white people would be like, I want to see the whole video, or they would somehow explain away that this person got shot in the back, or this person he did have a gun in the car. It's like he told the cop that he told me he had a gun. Like he had a permit, everything you say, folks. But the fact that you had this video, you had this 8-minute video of a man being murdered with 3 other cops protecting him to do
it's not just that too. We had a strange confluence of events in a 10-day period, right? We found out that 3 hillbillies in a pickup truck had murdered a guy that was out jogging in his own neighborhood, and then
oh my God!
And then on the same day that we found out about George Floyd, we also found out about the incident in Central Park, where a dude that's out bird watching and asks a lady to put her dog back on the leash, which is the rules of the park.
She's in a part of the park where it's your dog has to be on a leash because it could scare the birds, and plus you should have it because it could run off and bite someone.
And she switches on the white lady in distress mode on camera.
Oh man!
So and it's the fact that it's on camera, because
I know, right?
No one believed it before. Now we have this, and again, I don't know why people have to see video evidence of something to believe people that have been telling them this for 50 years, but for some reason they do. So now we have it, and within a span of 10 to 14 days, we got all this information dumped on us at one time, and maybe that was heavy enough to get people to pay attention. Maybe, but again, I think it's too late.
Yeah, when the president is all, and I tweeted about this. I mean, we've been talking about this the whole time we've been doing this show. Sadly, because all these incidents have come up.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's mass shootings, police killing people of color. I mean, just killing anybody. They can walk in your house and shoot you. You haven't done anything.
Yes.
Like the woman, because also the woman who was a first responder.
We also had
first responder because they were looking for somebody. I just found this out. They were looking for somebody, a suspect.
Yep.
They went to her house to raid it.
Mm-hmm.
The boyfriend and girlfriend think they're getting robbed and someone's trying to break in their house.
Right.
That means the police have not announced themselves very well.
And they admitted that
you
they did.
Think someone's trying to rob. So,
because
to me,
they had a no-knock warrant.
All those motherfuckers should be. There should be no such thing as a no-knock warrant.
Exactly.
That shouldn't even be a fucking thing. You should announce yourself. So, and that should be there to protect police officers so they're not confused as fucking burglars.
So we had all 4 of those things happen in a 10-day span.
And especially with the pandemic going on, and you kill a first responder, you kill a paramedic. Yeah. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? So, but we've been saying this shit since we've been doing this show. Sadly, we've been saying this the whole fucking time, and it's just taken this. The proof's already been out there. You didn't need a video of that white woman doing that.
Exactly.
You white people were doing that from the beginning.
Exactly. But for some reason, the knowledge alone was not enough until now there's a video, and now it's like, oh, well, now we've been caught. Well, I guess we've been doing this the whole time.
She said it. She that white woman using the police as a weapon.
Oh yeah.
Like she might as well pull out a knife and threaten to cut his fucking throat with it.
And the cops?
I'm gonna call the police, and
the police more than happy to oblige.
Okay, another one. I love that shit.
So yes. On the one hand, this time feels different because of the reaction of white people. But
yeah,
I feel like we're too late.
We're way too late. Because another thing I'm tired of fucking hearing is, well, there's good cops. They always say, well, these bad cops. Well, they always, like, it's almost like it's to me, it's as ridiculous as saying, well, I support the troops and shit. You know, I'm against the war, but I support. Like, you have to say it, or people won't take you seriously. Right. Or they'll say that you're a communist or some crazy shit like that. Yeah. To me, I'm tired of hearing, well, most of them are good cops.
No, they're not.
They're not good cops, because they should be policing themselves, because this makes them unsafe. This makes their jobs harder. When they're seen as the enemy, that means they have militarized. Anyways, militarize themselves by taking on this weaponry that was built for war, but then there's a surplus of it, and people like the military industrial complex needs to make its money, so they sell it to these cities and municipalities. I mean, when cops have like fucking troop carriers, they don't need that shit. They're fucking cops.
Look,
they're treated.
Are there a lot of good cops? Yes. Are most of them good? No. Because if most of them were good, when they found a bad one, they would do something about it.
Exactly.
And they don't.
Because I'd be like, if I was a police officer, I'd be like, if I one of these racist motherfuckers that he got hired into my precinct and he's got 10 fucking police brutality fucking things, I go to my chief and be like, you get this motherfucker out of here. He's going to make me unsafe. Right. As soon as the community finds out that this guy is a cop with us, they automatically don't trust us. That means I've got to watch my back every time I get out of the car, because the community hates us now.
How many times have we said this? There are 3 types of people that become cops. There are people that want to make a difference. There are people that need a paycheck. And there are people that want to exercise power over other people.
Yep.
And the people that want to make a difference are far outnumbered by the people who need a paycheck and by the people who want to exercise power over other people.
Yep.
And I mean, if you don't understand that at this point, after the last 7 days, I can't help you.
And what I'm seeing them do to they arrested a CNN reporter live.
They shot a journalist in the eyeball, exploded her eyeball.
What?
She's blind in her left eye.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Was it a rubber bullet that exploded her eye?
Yeah.
A journalist?
Yeah. After she identified herself.
What the fuck?
Cop just stepped up out of the line, aimed at her, and shot her. And it's like, How is it?
What the fuck?
How is it
How is
that
that legal?
these
How is
guys
that
are
legal?
not? How is it that they haven't been fired?
Because you look at all these, you look at these fucking cases, the way these. Malcolm Gladwell's got a great book out right now that I think should damn near be mandatory reading for every human being. It's like Talking to Strangers, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
It's a great book, and it talks about the way police are being trained nowadays is to treat everyone as when they pull a car over, is to treat every stop as a hostile threat to their lives.
Right.
And that's not how they should be trained.
Of course not, because if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? And the only thing that they know how to be is hammers.
And
so anytime
somebody comes out and says, be that way.
Anytime somebody comes out and says the police need more training, I laugh. The police don't need more training. The police need
less fucking training.
They need different training. Their training is doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
Their training is working perfectly. They treat everyone as a hostile threat. It's working great.
It's like when people say, government is broken. Government ain't broken. Government is working exactly the way it was designed to work.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it doesn't work for most people is part of the design.
It's built. It's not a bug. It's a feature.
Exactly.
I mean, when the whole government system was thought up, only fucking landowners could vote. Only
white male property owners could vote.
Yeah,
that's a very small voting block.
So let's just see: were the founding fathers really that forward thinking?
I think. It's kind of the irony, right? Everybody who breaks away from a system thinks they have it all figured out and they know better. And it turns out they just want to be the ones that have the power instead of somebody having power over them. And it's nothing to do with virtue. It's about power.
Yeah, it's all about. I mean, it's all about power.
Always.
You could not put it better. And that's why every government system devolves into these power structures, and there's all power vacuums here and this, and you always hear about that. That's what it boils down to, is you get these certain people that become just diseases they muck up the works, and they don't do it by breaking the law. They just manipulate the way the government's set up, and they use that to their best of their ability, and they just make everything harder for everyone else while benefiting their friends.
And when nobody stops them, again, they don't care about being caught. They care about being punished. So you can catch them all you want. How many times have we caught this president doing unethical
illegal
things? What is he up to? 16,000 lies? It doesn't matter if he gets caught. It matters if he gets punished. No one has punished him.
Yeah.
So he keeps going, and he escalates, and nobody does anything about it. And here we are, unleashing the United States military troops on civilian population.
This always goes over well.
Where's the Republican Party right now?
The party that's for less government. But isn't this big government putting its big fist down?
Of course it is.
Bringing in the military. But
this is what they're always.
Seems like they're all.
You know those guys who live up in the mountains with the bunkers and the machine guns, talking about the end of the world.
Oh, yeah.
The government's going to come get them. The government is coming to get people right now. It's just not those guys.
No, they don't care about those
because
guys.
It's not those guys. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
As long as it's not me, I don't care.
I'm good. Like it's the whole not in my backyard. I can't see it from my backyard. As long as it ain't me, and one thing about it's that old saying, like, you know, when they came to get these people, I didn't do anything. When they did this, I didn't say anything. And by the time it just chips away at everyone's, we've given up our freedoms. We've done this to ourselves by not voting, by being disenfranchised. Because all this can change this fucking November.
Maybe.
People,
Maybe.
but right now, I've been saying it. He's already doing it right now. I said Donald Trump is going to, he's gonna sow seeds of discontent within the election process. He's been
doing that for 4 years.
And he's saying this is going to be a rigged election,
just like he did last time.
He's saying it. He's already started right now. Mail-in ballots, can't trust them. And there is no precedent that says that mail-in ballots are.
The reason why I said I think it's too late. Even if he loses, McGovern,
he won't leave.
George McGovern won one state in 1968 against Richard Nixon, right? Even if Trump were to lose every state but North Dakota, you think he's leaving?
No.
You think he's walking out of that office January 21st, 2021?
He will call on his supporters to riot. Much as he begins to riot, he'll call on his supporters to take their country back.
Of course.
He's being unlawfully removed. It's a coup d'etat. He'll and Fox News will just tow right along with him because he'll still have that power.
It's too. I think it's too late.
This year hasn't even got bad yet. It's been bad.
No.
Wait, when we get this fall,
we've got 5 months to get. We've got 5 months to get.
It's gonna get nasty. You think that take all the ridiculous shit he's done in these 3.5 years
and cram that into 5 months
and boil it down, get yourself a nice condensed glaze, throw a pat of butter in there, get it nice and glossy, and just put that over your bullshit because it's gonna be fucking crazy, man. Dude, this is gonna be nuts. Like this election thing is gonna be cuckoo for coconuts.
Yeah,
or Cocoa Puffs.
This is not.
It's gonna be nuts, dude.
This is not an exaggeration, Ken.
No.
This November 3rd is the potential end of the Democratic Republic of the United States.
Oh, that's not even, like I said, not even speaking hyperbole. That's not being hyperbolic.
That's not hyperbole at all. No.
This is a dangerous man to get into office.
And again, all it would take, and I misspoke last week, and I said all it would take was the courage of 3 Republicans in the Senate. I was wrong. All it would take is the courage of 2 Republicans in the Senate. We have to remember Mitt Romney actually wanted to remove him. So,
yeah, two.
All we need are 2 honest people. 2 in the entire country, Ken. 2 honest people. And this is over.
There's not 2 honest.
And there aren't 2 honest people in the Republican Senate.
No, in the Republican Party there isn't an honest person. I don't believe a single Republican. They have not called this president out on his lies, on his viciousness, on his the way he incites violence. I mean, we forget that there was a guy that went to he was mailing off shit to Democratic senators and stuff that had a bunch of bullseyes over Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, and he was listening to all this Trump shit. Like that shit happened 3 years ago, but it fucking happened. And also, there was a story came out. I forget what. I think it was a state legislature, but a Republican,
that's Pennsylvania.
Republican guy. He got the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Told his Republican fellow senator or legislators, but didn't tell his fellow Democrats until a week after.
Yep.
And it's like you're playing politics with health, dude.
And
how can you look at yourself in the mirror?
The president of the United States is retweeting Republican Congresspeople tweeting out the only good Democrat is a dead Democrat from the official Twitter account of the President of the United States. Like that is where we are at.
This could get real ugly. I mean, especially when you get a country with as many guns as we do.
It's too late, Ken. I mean, I don't.
Well, only good thing is, Mark, we'll be here as long as we can be here, giving you the news. We will report this with our journalistic integrity of the Ken and Mark Show that we've been bringing to you for years
from our basements,
with a little bit of sports sprinkled in. And like the world will be crumbling down around us. Did you see what Schalke did against Mönchengladbach?
Well, that's all we'll have left, Ken. That's all there will be.
As like senators are getting assassinated, it's like, what's going on? Oh, but did you see that home run last week?
4-3 Hoffenheim. What?
It's crazy.
All right, man.
Oh man.
That's I think we're gonna call it a night.
Yep.
Wow.
Let's call it. We're gonna call it a country. It's been a fun. The American experiment is over.
It's been fun, America. You've had 249 mediocre years, but
yeah,
it was nice.
Donald Trump. Thanks for making America great again.
You can contact us at thekenandmarkshow@gmail.com or on Facebook or on Twitter at Ken and Mark Show. We're available for download on iTunes as well as Google Play and radio.com and YouTube, I guess. And at the original podcast page, thekenandmarkshow.libsyn.com. At some point, I will get those previous episodes edited and put up there. So we'll have audio content only. That'll be fun.
Hey, man.
And you won't have to look at this. No one will have to see this.
Talk about you're beautiful. You're beautiful, man.
No one will have to.
That's the only reason hey, don't put that hood up, brother. Especially that. Why you got that white hood up there, Mark? Pushing sides on me?
I'm just trying to protect myself, Ken.
Oh, you're cosplaying a ghost.
There you go. There you go. All right, man.
Oh, I love you, man.
Good night, sir.